All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and this week we have Woodville, and they are a pre-K through 12 school, and we're excited to have them. Next to me, I have the principal. His name is Mr. Jamie Darwin. Welcome, Mr. Darwin.
Good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming on. So we have a lot of things going on. It's the end of the, can you believe it's already the end of the school year?
I know. It seems like the year just got started. And,
I still have a list of things from August that I was going to get done this year.
Yeah.
I think every teacher does, though.
That's part of it.
It's frustrating. And it'll just get tacked on.
We're down to about 20 days left, I think.
Yeah, so. I know. Not long at all. So have you guys already done your state testing?
We finished up this past Friday. We had a 2-week window that we had to get our 3rd through 8th grade. So we did Global Scholar and finished that up on Friday.
There you go.
We went ahead and tested some of the other grades, but we had to get the 3rd through 8th in, so finished it up last week.
That's kind of a relief then.
Yeah, it is. One thing with Alabama, we went to Global Scholar this year. It's the first year for us doing it as a district. So there's been, a learning curve with it. The students getting familiar with the testing and whatnot, going away from ACT Aspire. So we've kind of got our baseline now and know what we're doing going forward.
Well, good. I hope it all goes well. So let's talk about all the end of the school stuff. I mean, I know it's a busy time. When's graduation?
Graduation will be May 22nd.
Okay.
May 22nd.
What time and where?
7 o'clock in the school gymnasium. We graduate 4 weeks from today.
You said you're about 40?
Yeah, we're
That's
about
what
40.
you said?
Yeah, 42, I think is what it is.
That's cool.
But we had a faculty meeting yesterday, and I handed out the kind of the end of the year calendar to the teachers, and I told them starting Friday, we have something every day until the end of school at some point in time. So it's a busy time.
I know, and people think, well, it's the end of the year. What do you got to do? And I don't think, outside of educators, they understand there's field trips and seniors. There's a ton for seniors to get ready to do.
Just a little bit of everything.
There is. So. And yours is worse because you have all the way from pre-K to 12.
We do.
So I think if it was like 7 through 12, it might be a little slower.
Yeah, just depending, and being a pre-K through 12 school, a lot of different activities, that are designed for high school kids, designed for middle school, elementary, even the actual pre-K class. So it's a busy time, anytime, but this time of the year even more so.
Yeah, it is. So tell me what's coming up at your school for as far as the end of the year stuff going on.
Well, next Tuesday, it's the first time we've ever done it. We're doing an academic signing day.
Okay.
Students who are receiving full tuition scholarships, students who are receiving any kind of scholarship, I believe in excess of $8,000, we're going to do a ceremony honoring those students in the school library, much like you see with football and basketball players on their signing days. We want to honor and recognize those students that have went above and beyond the past few years in preparing them for their college or career choices. We have students that'll be signing, even technical schools. We've got some full scholarship technical schools, scholarships. So we're excited about it.
That's really cool.
So yeah,
I don't think people understand. I mean, it's a lot of effort to get that much money.
Well, it is, and you've got to put in the work. Once you're a 9th grader, it starts counting. And these kids have worked over the last 4 years to set themselves up to be in this position, and we want to reward them with something.
Yeah. Well, good. That's good because they do always pay attention to the athletes. So I think that's good. You're going to try to make it an every year thing.
We are. This is the first time. So this.
How many do you have in that group?
I would have to say there's probably 5 to 10 kids.
That's good. I was just curious.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, cool. Well, congratulations to those kids.
Yes, without a doubt.
It's a big deal. So, all right. And you also, we were talking before the show that you've got this new called Club 21.
Club 21. Each spring, the students in the state of Alabama, they take the ACT test. And we were wanting to do something to increase our scores.
Right.
So we've offered an incentive called Club 21. Any student that takes the ACT the spring of their junior year and they make a 21 or higher will be part of our Club 21. What that will entail, they'll get a T-shirt Then throughout their senior year, we're going to have some special days for them. We may take some type of field trip or something to recognize and once again reward them for
Very
doing what
good.
they were supposed to do.
What is the average for an ACT score? I don't know. Or does it vary by state, or is there a national average?
It does. I would say the average would probably be in the 19 range. We were right about the. We kept looking at the numbers to figure out what our club was going to be. We want to eventually move it to a club 23 or 24, but we had to start somewhere, so we chose 21. We had 8 students this week. We got our scores back yesterday, and we had 8 students that achieved a score of 21 or higher. So,
Well, my youngest is studying for the ACT, so I've kind of looked at some of the questions. I would probably not pass. They're hard.
well, they are tough, and I think there's a lot more emphasis put on the ACT now. I took it 25 years ago, and we didn't have the resources that the kids
No.
have today. Whether it be an ACT prep class or all the books, you can go to Barnes and Noble and buy the ACT prep books, or take private lessons on test taking tips. And what these kids don't realize, it's not just a test; it's an opportunity for money.
That's what it is.
I mean, because
And the better your score, the more money the kids can get through scholarships.
exactly.
It's
You
just
almost
the way to do it.
think of it as a free loan application.
That's right.
So.
That's a big deal. All right, so let's talk about your cheerleaders.
Our cheer sponsor and a couple of our cheerleaders this past week spent some time in Memphis, Tennessee at St. Jude's.
Oh, that's cool.
Back during the fall, they did a fundraiser. I think they raised over $5,000 for St.
That's a lot of
Jude's.
money.
So they were invited to come out to Memphis this weekend, and they got to spend time not only at the hospital and interacting with the patients there. They said they got to color and paint with them. They also spent some time at the Target House, which the Target House is much like the Ronald McDonald House, but it's for long term. I think Ms. Fowler said that patients, their parents, and family members may stay there up to 3 years. So they got to go and visit and take a tour of the Target House. The work that St. Jude's, the work that hospital and does is unbelievable.
It's all free.
It is. It is. And our cheerleaders partnered with Varsity, which is kind of the cheer organization.
Right.
And Varsity had partnered with St. Jude's, and I think they said that the check that Varsity presented went from $7,000 a couple of years ago to over a $1 million donation this year.
Varsity, the restaurant?
The Varsity, it's a cheer organization.
Oh, okay.
Cheer organization.
Okay.
So the Varsity Group organization, they donated over $1 million this year.
That's a lot of money.
It is, and our school was able to pitch in a little over $5,000 to that.
And if you ever get a chance, go visit. I mean,
Yeah.
I took some students to Ronald McDonald House this last year, and it's just an eye-opening experience for people who don't know what it's about.
I can speak on behalf of the Ronald McDonald House. We stayed there a couple of weeks when my daughter was born, and anytime I go through the drive-through, I'm definitely going to drop my change in the Ronald McDonald bucket because it's a wonderful, wonderful organization.
It is. So, all right. And you've got a music grant coming up that you got.
We do. We got a music grant. We were very excited. We applied back in the fall, I believe it was, for a couple of grants. We were able to get a $25,000 grant for our K-6 program. It is. Except for when you start pricing musical instruments.
That's true.
It kind of fades away pretty quickly.
That's true.
But we're excited about that grant. Like I said, $25,000, and we'll start with our K through 6 programs, getting music back into the classrooms. And I think that's going to be a huge benefit for the school as a whole.
Okay.
And we're going to start with the younger ones and hopefully keep working on grants for our older ones.
Currently, you don't have a music program?
We do not.
Okay.
We do not.
What is your end goal in that?
The end goal, I would love eventually to see a high school band.
That would be cool.
That would be my end goal.
I mean, how many high school students on average do you have?
9 through 12, we're going to have in the neighborhood of 160 in 9 through 12.
I mean, you could get a good quarter of that, and that's enough for a band.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And, even if you have 10 or 15 or 20 It just makes the atmosphere a lot different at a football game
It
or
does.
a basketball game.
Even if they're too small to march, they can still sit on the sideline and play. And it's
Exactly.
just cheering more.
Well, and it's one of those things, you look for the talents in the kids. Some people have a talent for athletics. Some people have a talent for art. Some people have a talent for music. And that's one thing that we want to be able to let our kids display their talents.
Yeah, I was in band, so it's definitely dear to my heart. Okay, and then you got a grant for, what is a P3 grant?
P3 grant is for pre-K through third grade.
Okay.
And we received, a couple of weeks ago, we received a $30,000 P3
It's a
grant
lot of money, too.
for our kindergarten. Exactly.
What are you going to do with it?
That money goes to the classrooms.
Okay.
They can, they can get different manipulatives and just, furniture, anything
So the
for
teachers
class.
get to decide what
They
they
do.
want for their
They do.
classroom.
They
How
get-
many, do you just have 4, like pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade? Or I guess that's 5.
Well, usually what we do, we have 2 classes per.
Okay.
Yeah. But hopefully next year we can get this grant for our first grade. And you kind of build up through it. But you start putting $30,000 into a school our size, and it can have a major impact. We go next week to Montgomery for some training and orientation on that grant, and then we've got another grant we're in for. It's a $25,000 grant through Jacksonville State University for rural technology, and we'll find out in a couple of months where we stand on that grant.
So what would that do? Just bring in like Chromebooks or something?
Bring in
or-
hardware.
Okay.
Yeah, any type of computer hardware that we saw fit.
That's pretty good. Okay, so then we also have, is that called the Core Tech Grant? That
Core
we were
Tech
just
Grant,
talking,
yes.
Core Tech Grant?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a beta club.
We do.
Okay,
We
so
have,
what's going on with that?
we have senior beta for 9 through 12, and then our junior beta up through the 8th grade. Over the last month and a half, both of those groups have went to Birmingham for our state convention.
How'd they do?
Did really well. I was really proud of them. We had one student in our junior beta, Miss Hannah Grace Shelton. She qualified for the national convention
Wow.
in Savannah, Georgia. She'll be participating in individual talent. Both of our clubs, both the high school and the junior beta, both received growth awards from the National Beta Club. So we're really excited what our beta clubs are doing.
Okay. Well, and Beta Club, just for people who don't know, that's where you guys go in and they do community service projects, right?
We have.
And it's based on grades
It's based-
and attendance and like all
yes.
the good stuff.
It is. It is based on their grades.
Okay.
Based on GPA, but service projects is a major part of it.
And I mean, I know some students who get good grades, but sometimes their behavior's off. Do they have to match behavior
Right.
and grades
Yeah.
together?
Yeah. Just because you make the grades doesn't mean you can be in there. It's by invitation only.
Yeah. Well, good. That's
It is.
perfect. Well, thanks for coming on. You guys are doing a lot.
We're trying to.
Yeah.
We're trying to.
Sounds good. Well, you definitely wrote a lot of grants, and that's definitely helpful.
I've probably got the best grant writing
Team
of teachers I've ever been a part of.
That's good, because goodness knows, I don't think people understand how much money our schools need, because we don't get this stuff. I mean, it's
Exactly.
not like we can just
Yeah.
say, okay, state person, we would like some more computers.
Right.
If we don't figure out where the money's coming from, and we get a little bit, not a lot.
Hey,
Schools in general.
In the grant writing, the worst thing they can tell you is no.
That's true.
So
That is true. So, well, thanks for coming on today.
thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to be back in just a minute, and we'll be back with Miss Amy Leck. Is that who's coming on
Yes,
next?
ma'am.
All right, we'll be back with her. Thank you.
Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Get focused. Get hired.
The Dade County school system continues to put the safety of students first. That's why the Love the Bus Elementary campaign rolls on. Love the Bus is designed to teach students the importance of safety, respect, and proper bus etiquette. As we continue to enhance efforts of safety for our students, we'd like to have you as part of our team. If you're considering a career as a bus driver, call the Dade County Schools Transportation Department at 706-657-7053 today. Part-time hours with full-time benefits as a bus driver for the Dade County school system.
Looking around your home thinking it may be time for a new look? Let Comfort Gallery in Kimball help you make perfect choices for every room in your home. Living room, bedroom, dining room suits from all the major furniture manufacturers. If we don't have what you need in the store, browse our full-color interactive kiosk to find exactly what you need. And don't forget a new mattress set. After all, sleeping well makes everything better. At Comfort Gallery, we offer free delivery and setup, 1-year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months, same as cash. Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, 1 mile north of I-24, exit 152A in Kimball, Tennessee.
Delivering top quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we are here this week with Woodville. Is it called Woodville just school or Woodville High School?
Woodville High School.
Woodville High School. Okay. And you guys are pre-K through 12th.
Yes.
And we just got to talking to the principal, Mr. Jamie Darwin. This is the second time on the show, so we're excited you guys are back. So next to me, you are Miss Amy Lack. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your background really quick first, like how long you've been a teacher, where you've been teaching, all that good stuff.
Okay. I've been teaching this is my 22nd year.
Okay, long time.
And 21 of those have been at Woodville.
Okay,
Yes.
long time.
Yes. Then I've been either an English language arts teacher or a reading coach. I was English language arts for middle school, high school. Then I was the reading coach for K through 3 and then K through 6. And then I went back to the classroom.
Say, which one do you like? High school? Middle school?
Middle school is my favorite.
Really?
Yes. Middle school English language arts.
Most of the time what I hear is that the high schools, because they're, a little more,
Right.
their hormones are already out and a little bit better.
I like middle school best.
Do you really? Cool. So right now you're currently teaching middle school.
I am.
And you're doing, if I wrote down, 7th and 8th grade.
Yes.
Okay, and you're doing ELA. Do
Yes.
kids find it, like, I've always found that either kids like math or they like ELA. Is that,
I haven't really noticed that. I think they like both.
okay. All right. Or you just like it so well that you're just going to make them want to say they like ELA?
Maybe.
That works
Maybe.
too, right?
Maybe,
It's all
yes.
about the teacher, though, really.
Sometimes.
All right. And you're going to talk today about technology in your classroom.
Yes.
So tell us, and you said do you do Google Classroom in your classroom?
I do Google Classroom in my classroom.
Because I've been doing Google Classroom for years, and I love Google Classroom. So what do you do? And you were the one who got the grants.
Right. I have several grants.
Okay.
I wanted to do Google Classroom or something along those lines.
Okay.
And we had a brief PD session on the Google Classroom and the G Suite for Education last year and Chromebooks. Well, so I wrote a grant, and I received enough money to buy 4 Chromebooks. So I thought it would be a station in my room. But I loved Google Classroom so much that I went to DonorsChoose.org and ended up with 8 more Chromebooks. So I have 12 Chromebooks, and I fill in with laptops. So I am a one-to-one classroom now.
What's your average student body, 20?
18. I have 18. It's my
Okay.
largest number. I did have 19, but now I'm at 18.
Okay, so they're not huge. You don't need 30.
No, I don't need 30.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good. So tell us how you use them in your...
Okay, I make assignments in there.
Okay.
My students turn their work into the Google Classroom, and we have lots of apps and add-ons that we use with the Google Classroom through slides.
Yeah, you
through
were telling me
docs.
that earlier before the show. Let's see, I wrote it down. You've got Flipgrid?
Yes, Flipgrid.
What? Okay, so I've used Google Classroom for a long time. I don't know
You
what
don't know
that
what
is, and
Flipgrid
I
is.
don't know what Pear Deck. And you just said something about G Suite. So
Yes.
we need to talk after
Okay.
this. But I don't know what any of these are. So
Okay, and you said you were being used. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
we will definitely talk afterwards.
but those are really good. So what is Flipgrid? You said
Okay.
you use it.
Yes, Flipgrid. I won I won a door prize back in January, and I won a year's subscription
Okay.
to Flipgrid. So in Flipgrid, I can give my students a prompt, and then they will go in and they video themselves.
On their on the little
Yes, on the
laptop,
camera,
on the
or
little camera,
yes,
webcam.
or they can use their own device. If they have a smartphone, they can use their smartphone and go in and record themselves.
Hey, any chance they get to use a smartphone, you're in, right?
And some of our favorites have been we did some slam poetry, so they got to record themselves performing their slam poetry.
Which is like a roast.
Yes, well, it can be
Similar. Okay.
And then the students could then go in there and watch those and make comments. They can video back comments, or they can leave little emojis like a heart if they loved it. Or,
So the kids can grade each other.
Yes.
Or give comments
bits,
to
yes.
each other. So
Yes.
That's cool.
yes, and they can also create topics. So if they think of another topic they want to talk about, they can create a topic and record themselves, and other students can then go in and reply.
Wow, that's very cool. That is good. So, and then you use Pear Deck.
I use Pear Deck. Yes.
What is that?
Okay, Pear Deck is now one of my favorites. It's not only my favorite, but it is a favorite of my classes. I asked my classes, what do you think? I asked my students, what do you think I should talk about today? What should I tell other teachers about technology? And they all said Pear Deck's Flashcard Factory for learning vocabulary. In it, I go in, I put in their vocabulary words, their definitions, and then we create a game. It divides the students into partners. And we have a day shift and we have a night shift. And they're competing against each other. And each partner will get a vocabulary word. And let's say we were partners. You may get to draw a picture with that word. And I have to write a sentence with it. Or I have to come up with an example.
On
of
the computer, or do I draw a picture on a paper?
On the computer.
How do they draw a picture on the computer?
Well, there are little different tools. You can draw a straight line. You can put shapes. You can put words.
So just like all the shapes
and they
stuff
have,
that can
and they
create
can
a
also
picture.
draw different colors, and they love doing that. And then we go to quality control afterwards. We choose our favorites, and we then export those to Quizlet, and we have flashcards we can study by that
That's what I was
they
gonna say.
made.
Do you use, because that sounds a lot like Quizlet or Quia? Is it called Quia?
Yes.
You know, where they can
Yes.
just do the flashcards, or you can do.
Right.
like,
we make
there's
our
a whole
own
list
flashcards. We create our own flashcards. They're there in Quizlet for us. They're password protected.
based on what they put in
What
Pear
they
Deck?
did, what they put.
That's cool, because I've used Quizlet and Quia, and they're kind of the same. But
Then they love to take those and do Quizlet Live with those words. Do you play Quizlet Live, the game where they might be orcas and giraffes and they compete against each other? If you,
no, I've never done that.
they love to do that. So,
No.
yes. So
That's pretty
they
cool.
use those flashcards, and then they have to match them, the word and the definition. And they'll be again in teams, and they're competing to see who can get the most, get all 8. So if we were doing 8, get all 8 first, that team wins. So.
And what do they just get the reward of winning, or do
That's all they want is the reward of winning.
just reward of winning?
Yes.
Very good.
And it's
right.
all on the computer, and they love that, or they can do it on their smartphone.
Well, for something like English, and I really am going to tell the truth here, it was one of my least favorite subjects in school. It was really hard. I'm more of a math person. I have an absolute,
You're the math.
I want the absolute, there's an answer, right or wrong. So English to me was always like, well, there's this and then this and maybe this, and oh my gosh, if this is, then you got this.
Right.
So for me, when I was younger, it was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to do it on a computer, I would think would engage them, and it would be a lot
Very
more
engaging.
exciting. Of course, we didn't have computers when I was in school, but if we would have, I would have probably paid attention a little bit more and thought it was a little funner.
They love vocabulary that way. They will
Funner's
ask
a word
for it.
for me.
Okay.
Just your English
Okay.
teacher, I have to clarify.
okay.
That's a word for me.
Okay.
In my dictionary.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good. I think that sounds like they had a good time. Okay, so then we're also going to talk about what is the difference between like the Chromebooks and the computers?
Okay. The reason that I really enjoy using the Chromebooks in my classroom
More than the computers?
more than the computers is because they're faster, because everything runs off the
They're
cloud.
smaller?
They're smaller. They're lightweight. And they're much faster, which is what the students love. It does not take a Chromebook a very long time to come up when we first log on.
But the
and
only thing that Chromebook users, though, can use is Google Docs, Google Slides. Can they use Word,
Yes, they can
PowerPoint?
use-
There's Word
they
on
can
there?
You can export out to Word, or you can export out to a PDF. Yes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you can
change it.
save it as a Word?
you can save it as a Word.
Can you upload it as a Word document?
You can upload it as a Word document.
So there's
and put it
Word
in your
on
Google
it.
Drive.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I need to figure out how to do that.
Yes.
That makes it a lot easier. So,
Yes, it is much easier, and the students really like that.
okay. Well, cool. All right. What are some other forms of technology that we talked about? Flipgrid. You got. Was there another one that I missed?
We did Pear Deck, we did Quizlet. I'm doing some adventures in learning. I've written a grant for that. And just today,
How many grants have you written over your 22 years?
I don't know.
A lot.
Yes.
I get the grant. Are you one of them grant people?
I
he was
am one of
talking
those
about?
grant people, yes.
That's good. So, what do you think you've earned over your 22 years?
I would be afraid to even guess.
Really?
Yes.
That's not afraid. That's good.
That is, yes.
That is good. Okay, so go on. You've written a grant, or
Yes, and we're getting some Google Cardboard virtual reality viewers. I don't know if you know about those.
no? Are they like the regular viewers that you can
Yes.
use on your phones now? But
Yes, you use them. You will use them with a device.
Okay.
And there are some apps which will allow me to take my students on guided tours. So if we were reading about the Great Wall of China, we could all get in on the same virtual reality field trip. I would have a guide on there that would let me, chauffeur them around and tell them certain facts about different areas, and they're following me in the virtual reality world.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we can't wait to get them in.
That's super cool. Your second life, you get to be a technology teacher. There you go. So,
We're already using Google Earth and Google Maps. One
in
of the
English, how do you use that in English?
The way that I've used Google Maps in English is that sometimes we'll drop in our Pegman in a random location that has Street View. Pegman's a little yellow man, you can go to Street View. And then we may say, okay, this is going to be the setting of our story. Where are you? What's happening around you? Who are the characters? And
That reminds me of Dr. Seuss's, I think I saw it on Mulberry Street.
Yes.
I mean, similar. He was right there, but he got to make up all the stuff around
Right,
him and
yes,
what was happening.
yes.
It's one of my favorite.
my
favorite
students
books.
love to do that. And they'll even, if they have a few minutes in free time, they'll drop Pegman in somewhere to visit.
Well, and I don't think they realize that's one of those things you've got to do in creative writing. But as soon as you say, okay, we're going to do some creative writing, oh my gosh, I can't think on my
can't
own.
write, yes.
I can't. I mean, and the worst one is making them write about themselves. I don't know anything about myself. And I'm like, you don't? It's all about you. Right? You'd think that would be, but that's a good way to make them think about them like creative without making them think they're writing creatively.
Yes. And this week we're also going on our very first Google Lit trip. My 8th graders are reading The Diary of Anne Frank.
Okay.
So there is a Google Lit trip that goes along with The Diary of Anne Frank. So it's going to take us to different locations that relate to the book and to the story.
So how do you do that?
There's a group of people they've created several different Google Lit trips for kindergarten through 12th grade, different books, different topics.
So do you just play? It's like a video you play and the whole class watches.
Yes, and they can watch. Yes.
On the
Yes.
Promethean board or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. And so everybody watches. Is there a set of questions they answer as they
There
go?
are some questions that go along with it, and yeah,
Oh, that's really cool.
it is. I like Google Lit trips.
That I have to see about that too. All right. So and then yep. We got that one. We're done good. Just making sure I don't want to miss anything we're talking about. Okay, so student and you gather your data.
Yes. Yes, I have found that using the Google Classroom makes grading so much easier for me. I love Google Forms, and
the
my
fact
students love taking quizzes on Google Forms.
Well, and they can't tell you I turned it in.
They cannot.
Because it literally date stamps the time they turned it in. And if they say, well, I made those changes,
You can say.
yeah, that's the one thing I like about it. So I go back and I'm like, okay, well, let's check your history. Oh, it says right here you changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
The students also like that they can't lose it, because as 7th
that's
and 8th
true, too.
graders, they lose a lot of things.
So
and
now, do you have them? So, like, our school is predominantly Microsoft because we teach Microsoft certification in the high school. Do you have them just do it in Google?
we use Google.
So you just use Google.
Yes.
So you really don't need to worry about that word stuff converting.
No.
So
Sometimes when we enter a writing contest, we may have to convert over to a Word document, but it's very simple and easy. It's just a click of a button.
well, cool. All right, and so what do your students think of? Well, based on everything we've said, they love the technology.
They
in your
love it,
classroom.
yes, they do.
Do you think? Okay, there's nothing against the other teachers, but do you think you have the most technology or one of the most technology classes?
Yes, simply because I'm 1-to-1 right now, and I don't think any other class is.
Okay. And do you guys don't have an actual class that's just technology or like computers, do you?
Sometimes we have a computer class, depending on the grade, and we have computer labs that we can share. But I'm the only one that's every day, all day with a Chromebook or a laptop.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be cool. I think that would be a lot of fun.
My students have even said, I would like to do more of this in history class, because when I'm learning about something, it may spark my interest, and I want to learn more about that location, or I want to learn more about that person. And if I have my Chromebook, I can go and I can look that up on Google Earth, or I can search for that.
Those
and,
viewers would
yes.
be great for history, and it might.
Yes.
I wasn't really good at remembering the dates. So that would be great because it kind of puts you in there, or like that whatever you just said, where they're going to go on a trip.
Yes.
Or like a history trip through Napoleon time or whatever. That would be really cool,
it would
too.
be. And there are some virtual field trips for health, and where you go inside the body and see the different functions and those sort of.
Well, I'm good with that. No, I don't need to see any bodily functions. So we can skip that one.
You can skip that one.
We can skip that. Or dissecting pigs. I'm good.
I don't dissect it.
Yeah, I don't either. So, all right. So, do you have any future plans? We only just have about a minute or so, but do you have any future plans?
Yes, I am trying to work on another grant and hopefully maybe get some Thrively. I don't know if you're familiar with Thrively.
No.
I used Thrively a little bit this year. I used the free portion of Thrively where students could go in and they could take like an interest inventory, but it also had them learn about their strengths.
Kind of like career?
It was about career, but it also was about their strengths. It even had some coordination things they have to do, like they may have to see if they could rub their head and pat their belly at the same time, or how long they could stand on one foot and touch their nose or something. And they learned about their strengths. But then Thrively can go from that, and they can have little sparks, and they can learn more about those careers, the short videos, and they can learn about things in their area, maybe places they want to go to learn more about it, and they can have little journals they keep up with as they learn.
So it really ties in what they like with what careers might be a good fit for them.
Yes, and even projects that might go along with that career and what they like. And it also involves families. It can involve
So the grant you're trying to get is that you get a year for free versus the free version?
Right.
You get the non-free version?
I get the non-free version, yes.
So is it expensive?
It's probably, it's pretty expensive to get
Is it?
Or you could do like an a la carte and say, I want my class to do this project. So depending on the project.
Or are they based on projects?
You can do a la carte, or
Okay.
you can do the whole full thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish you the best of luck on all of these.
well, thank you.
That sounds really good. So we're going to have to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to...
Deanna West.
Yes, Deanna West. You guys, they're the most prepared. I mean, each one of them came with a list of questions. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming on. Sounds super cool. Sounds
I'm
really
excited
cool.
about it. My students are excited about it, and that's what's important.
Well, and it keeps them entertained.
It does.
I mean, while they're learning.
While they're
Without
learning,
they
right.
don't know it, right?
Right.
So, all right. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
Attention outdoor cooking fans. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is a gold dealer of Big Green Egg products. The Big Green Egg is miles ahead of anything else. State-of-the-art ceramics, a wide range of easily adjusted cooking temperatures, a stainless steel cooking grid, and a permanent porcelain glaze to preserve that signature green color. It's a grill, it's an oven, it's even a smoker. The most versatile cooking device ever, truly the ultimate cooking experience. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is the largest supplier of Big Green Egg products between Memphis and Atlanta, carrying a complete line of products including rubs and sauces. Free 60-day layaway with 10% down, plus 90-day same as cash and financing available. See us today on Sand Mountain. Take I-59 south to the Hammondville exit, ride on Highway 117 to 21620 Highway 117 at Hyder, or call 256-632-6815 to learn about the Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District.
Brown's Tire Pros knows that when you need tires for automotive service, you don't need a hassle. Brown's Tire Pros has been family owned and operated since 1994, and you'll always get friendly customer service and never be sold anything you don't need. We sell major brands of tires like Michelin and BF Goodrich. In fact, Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that'll keep you going for miles to come. Visit us at Brown's Tire Pros in Trenton today or online at brownstirepros.com. A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main office is on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we have with us the Woodville High School. They are a pre-K through 12 school. There's about 500 students. The principal is Jamie Darwin, Mr. Darwin, and we just recently got done talking to Amy Lack, she is a guru on grant writing, it sounds like. Seriously, guru. And they just have started learning Google Class, and she has just taken it and ran, which is really cool, especially I think, for ELA.
Right.
Because I was not an ELA person. Right. Well, I mean, I am now, but, when I was younger. So, all right. And this is Deanna West. So tell us about your background a little bit. And you currently, what do you teach?
I teach 5th grade reading and history.
Okay.
So this is my 5th year at Woodville.
All right.
This is my first year in 5th grade. I've taught 1st grade and 2nd grade.
How many years total?
5 years total.
So it's just, you've been in there the whole time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Are you from there?
No, I'm from Newmarket.
Oh, really?
And I got married and moved in that direction.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Okay, so do you like, it might not be fair to ask, but do you like reading?
I do like
history
reading. I'm kind of obsessed with reading. And
Are
I
you?
used to be more of a math and science person, but when I took this job, I was wanting to work with the upper elementary kids, and I've really enjoyed teaching reading and history this year.
Really? Mm-hmm. So do you read history books?
I read a lot of historical fiction type books, and then we do in class, we read a lot of history.
Do you got any of those history, like live dress-up history?
Well, we
What
just
are
went on
those
a
called?
field trip last week to American Village in Montevallo, and they were all dressed up, and the kids go back in colonial times, and they
Oh, that's
loved
cool.
it.
It's like you walk through it, and it's like what it would be like
Right.
when it
yes.
was that day.
Yes.
That would be cool. See, those kind of things, when I was a kid, it was just a book. You sat down, you listened to the teacher. You watched videos that were from film strips from
Right.
50 million years ago.
Right. I try to do a lot of project-based activities in my
I
room.
think it makes it more interested to the kids.
They remember a lot more.
I think so, though, too. I really do. All right, so do you have any grants?
I have received 4 this year.
Wow, this whole school, I need to figure out how you guys get so many grants.
I've got one from Scholastic
a good
with
one.
James Patterson. They gave us $500 for classroom books, for a classroom library. And I've got one from the Jackson County Education Foundation. They gave us $600 worth of books for my book clubs. I've got one from the Civil War Trust. They funded the admission for the history field trip that we just went on.
Oh, that's cool. How many
And-
kids did you take on the field trip?
About 27.
Okay.
We have a small group of 5th graders. There's only like 29 total this year.
Okay.
And then the Impact Learning Center sent me to the Ron Clark Academy this year. And so it was very neat.
Was that cool? Mm-hmm. Just you?
Another coworker got to go with me, and there were several from our district that were able to go.
That's cool. What'd you learn? What's it like?
It's just totally different. It's not like a regular school setting. Everything is...
It's more like hands-on and project-based?
It is project-based and hands-on. A lot of different activities going on all the time. It promotes positive behavior, whole brain teaching. They do a lot of classroom transformations where they just completely transform the classroom, and the kids walk in, and it's like a totally different setting for them, whatever they're studying at that time. So it was really neat.
Have you used any of it in your classroom?
Oh, yes. I've done several classroom transformations since going on this trip. Ron Clark's daughter, Hope King, is one of the teachers at his school, and so I follow her on social media, and I'm watching everything she does. And we have had like a Super Mario World, and I've completely transformed the room, and I was Princess Peach, and the kids had to come in and read articles to rescue me. And
That's cool.
we had a book tasting event where the kids, they walked into like a little cafe, and I had like a red and white gingham tablecloth set up, and they got to sample different books to see if they liked it.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get in a Jurassic World this year, but I'm not sure if I can squeeze it in or not.
I love Jurassic Park anything.
Right. So I think the kids get really excited over it, and I use it as an incentive a lot with reading. Like the Super Mario, they were wanting to have like a device day, and so we do Who's Reading as to get them motivated in reading because we don't have accelerated reader anymore.
Okay.
So with Who's Reading, they go in and they read books, chapter books on their level, and they take a test with like 3 open-ended questions. And when they meet their goals, we have a big party at the end of the 9 weeks, and I have the classroom transformation, and they got to bring their devices this last time, but they're wanting to do board games this time.
Oh, that's cool.
So they really work hard to meet their goals.
Well, that's good. How do you get a kid interested in reading?
Well, through the Who's Reading and the Who's Reading parties.
Do you like give awards? Like I've seen where some teachers like you bring back what you read and you get a star, and there's so many stars you get another award.
I don't keep up with it that way. We have it. It's all input in on Who's Reading, so I can just see who's meeting their goal, and we announce it. Like today, I check it very often, and we discuss, what are you reading?
Do they have to read it on the computer?
No.
Okay.
Any kind of chapter book that's
Okay.
on their
So how
level.
does it get into the computer?
They have to go and take their test on the computer.
Okay. So once they've taken the test,
Right.
how many
I can
times
see
do
if
they
they
get to
pass
take
it. I usually allow them to retake it once.
Okay. So, and after that, they got to read another book if they
Right.
didn't do well.
Right.
Cool.
But I've noticed like the biggest motivation for them is for me to read the book that they're reading. And like sometimes I have a competition with them, and I had one student that came in my room, and he just came in, I hate reading. So we both got The Wild Robot, and I was like, let's see who can read it the fastest and comprehend it. So we took off reading it, and he beat me. And the sequel came out in March, and he cried while he was reading this book. He got so into it. He's one
Really?
of my top readers, yes.
That's cool.
So just reading the books with them and talking to them about it and promoting the books.
Well,
really
and that'll
gets
make
excited.
him want to do more next time on his own. I mean, this one was sparked by you, kid competition.
Right.
But then the next one and the next one.
My problem with him now is trying to get a book out of his hand while I'm
Really?
teaching. Yes.
My oldest son was one of those who read and read and read his whole entire life until he got to college because then he was so busy reading textbooks. But his punishment was I would take the book out of his hand that night and he wasn't going to get reading. That was his punishment. So
Well, that's great.
that was really good. So, all right. What transformations have you done in your classroom this year? Was that what you were talking about?
Yes. The Super Mario, we've
Okay.
had like a camping theme. We had the book tasting event. And like I said, I'm hoping to get to the Jurassic World.
Do you just change like the decorations in your classroom to that? So for how long do you keep them up there for?
Well, it just depends. Like the book tasting event, I just kept it for that one day so they could decide which book they wanted to start their book clubs with. And the Super Mario, we did that kind of as the reward incentive for the Who's Reading party. But then I found all these articles, and so I kept it up for about a week, and we went through it for about a week.
So what is a book taste? I mean, so I think tasting food. Did you bring in food?
No,
Okay.
they sample the book. So I have books set out on platters, and there's like different stations. This time, since I have a small group, I had 3 different choices. And so they have their little menu, and they would read the menu. They would sample the book for about 15 minutes. So they'd read the first few pages of the chapter, and then on the menu, they would write the title of the book, the author. Do you think you might be interested in reading this book later on? Just basic questions like that. And then they would rotate to the next book.
That's pretty cool. I never heard of that either. All right. And so do you have any, it says, how do you teach history?
That was with the project-based learning, and I've started using Google Classroom this year too. So
You
they're
like
doing,
it?
I do. I really like it, and the kids really like. I think they prefer typing and being on the computer, the electronics versus handwritten.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Do they need to learn how to type?
Oh yes, we have technology standards.
Do you? Mm-hmm. So do you make them sit there, write, and do typing correctly?
Well, I mean, in 5th grade, I'm just happy if they can get it in
That's a big thing, I think, though, is teaching them how to type.
and being exposed to it.
So, yeah, I think so, too. All right. Well, I think, did we miss anything?
No.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, too. Well, thanks for coming on, Miss West.
Well, thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk to the last teacher, and that is Miss Robin Chilton, and she'll be here next. We'll be right back.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried chicken finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those golden fried chicken fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Looking for a great way to change your look? You'll find the friendly professionals at A Classy Cut Salon ready to care for you. A Classy Cut Salon is in the Grove Shopping Center next to the Dollar General. We serve men and women of all ages at A Classy Cut Salon. Call 657-5607. That's 657-5607 for an appointment, or just walk right in for your next classy cut from A Classy Cut Salon in the Grove Shopping Center, Highway 11 North in Trenton.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We're here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone. And if you're just now joining us, we have been here with Woodville High School. They are a pre-K through 12th grade school. They have about 500 students, which is quite a bit for a pre-K through 12th. The principal's name is Mr. Jamie Darwin, and he is the principal, and we're really glad they're here. So next to me is Miss Robin Sheldon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're really excited that you're here. And you have a lot to teach us. You are a high school science teacher, and
Yes,
we
ma'am.
decided as I was asking you what grades before you came on, you're actually like 7th through basically 12th.
Yes, ma'am.
You might not have full classes in each
Yes,
one,
ma'am.
but you got that grade level.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot of preps.
Yes.
Just talking about preps.
Yes.
So let's talk about how long you've been a teacher, what other subject, anything else about your
Okay, I've been
background.
teaching. This is my 13th year, but
Okay.
this is my first year at Woodville. I previously taught at Paint Rock Valley and North Jackson High School, which are both with Jackson County Schools. And then I was at Scottsboro Junior High School for a couple of years. Then last year I was at Sparkman, and now I'm back home to Woodville.
Okay. So you've definitely moved around a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you like high school, middle school? You taught middle school, I think you said, right?
Yes, truthfully, I like 7 through 12. I'm good.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, some people have a difference, but yeah. Okay, and so what kind of science do you teach? So I'm guessing you teach chemistry,
Yes.
biology.
Yes.
Do you do, or science?
No, 7th grade is life science, 8th grade is physical science, and then biology. And then this semester I'm doing dual enrollment biology, which is a combination between Woodville and Northeast. The students actually get high school credit and college credit.
Okay.
And then my other class this time is ACT prep. So,
ACT prep.
yes, ma'am.
So you're teaching kids how to take the ACT.
Yes.
So is that hard?
Yes. It's taxed me.
It is hard.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I was looking over some of the questions and I thought, thank goodness.
Oh, yes.
I'm
yes.
not. I'm definitely not smarter than a college student, I guess.
Amen. Amen.
So, I mean, some of those. And I know part of the questioning is just how they want to word the question.
Right.
It's on how you think. And some of it's just literally, do you know their strategies for test taking? I don't even know if there's really a
Well,
right
of
or
course,
wrong.
with the science reasoning, it's been easier for me to teach them on that than
Right.
it has, of course, the math and the English. So I've had to get help on those. So.
Yeah. I would be needed
Yes.
too. Yeah. Too bad they don't have a business technology section.
Yes,
in the
yes.
ACT. I would be doing good. So, all right. So let's talk about what, so we talked about the kind of things you teach in science. Which one's your favorite?
Probably biology.
Really?
That's what my actual degree's in, biology with a minor in chemistry. So
Is it?
chemistry would be a close second.
So do you like dissecting?
Yes.
Okay.
It gets a little nerve-wracking with high school students, but
you
but we
do-
don't do a lot of dissecting anymore.
Don't you?
No.
There's a lot of virtual
they've-
dissecting now. Do you do that?
We have before, but they've taken most of the sections out with the dissecting. And with the 7th grade, where you do more of the body systems, it's one of these things that we use AMSTI. And so they don't dissect.
What is
with
AMSTI?
It's the Alabama Math and Science Initiative, Technology Initiative, excuse me. And they actually, I go train for 4 to 7 days, depending on what program, and they actually send us all of the materials needed for all of the labs. If we need live materials, they even send us prepaid purchase orders, all of that, and it allows the students to do some really fun stuff that they normally wouldn't be able to do.
So what are some of the projects that you've done through it?
Well, today, during my 7th grade class, they actually got to look at hydra that is budding. So we're studying reproduction at this point, and so asexual reproduction. And then yesterday, they got to feed the hydra and watch it feed and actually paralyze the black worm that they used. And yeah, they enjoy all of
How
this.
did you paralyze a black worm?
Well, it actually has a tentacle that will come out and put the chemical into the black worm and paralyze it for about 10 minutes, and then you'll start seeing it wiggle again after it's been eaten.
Okay, so it's okay.
Yes. It doesn't quite die at that point, but
Okay, well, good. I'm glad. I bet the kids like that, though.
oh yes, I've heard more.
Or
Ooh,
most
that's
kids.
cool.
Have you
or-
heard any girls go, ew?
Yes,
That would be
yes.
me.
The
I would
worm
do that.
part, they do not.
I
like
could
the
hold the
worms.
worm.
Well, the worms are itty bitty things. I mean, they're really. I don't like big worms, and I can deal with these. So.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that sounds like a lot. All right, so let's talk about, you have a new elementary school program, and it's music.
Yes.
So you were the one who wrote the grant to get the music grants?
Heather Thomas and myself.
Okay.
We both worked together. She was the lead on the elementary. I was the lead on the high school.
So are you a music person, too? Or is that, you're going to be another one that you're going to add to your hat?
I don't know. You would say I was a music person, but I can read music, and
So what made you want to help? Just music?
I wanted a band for the high school.
Really?
Yes.
So your daughter's in high school?
No, my daughter's in junior high school.
she's in
well,
junior
I mean,
high.
excuse me, she's in 4th grade. She's in the junior beta. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, but you just like, were you a band person?
I was for a couple of years. I did choral music.
Did you?
So, yes.
Okay. So, tell us about what you're going to do with the music grant and how that's going to work.
Okay, we're starting a new music program for the elementary students, and we don't have any.
Are they going to play recorders?
We're going to start with the recorders, yes. But we've looked into the cigar box banjos. We've looked into various percussion instruments, maracas, all kinds of different things that we're planning on incorporating, and eventually get it to the point that they have concerts and different performances and things like that, and then hopefully lead to a high school program at some point.
Yeah, so that would be really cool. So are you going to have like real trumpets eventually and
Hopefully,
flutes
yes,
and
ma'am.
like real?
Hopefully, yes.
That'll be good.
Yes.
That'll be good. To the high school, are they going to already start once you get them? Like
the high
or is it
school,
gonna be after school,
this is
or-
only for kindergarten through 6th grade.
Okay, so right now
and,
it's just-
just for them,
Okay.
and it will be during school. We're planning on the teachers helping with it, as well as community members and people that all of us know that are willing to come in and help teach the students how to read sheet music, how to play the recorders, and all the different things. Miss Thomas, the lady who helped me with the grant, her husband knows the guy who makes cigar box banjos,
Oh,
and he's going to come
really?
in and help them with it. And
That's
he
cool.
also has a lesson where they actually put the frets in and incorporate math as well as the music. So it kind of ties everything together and gives us a cross-curricular type thing.
Oh, that's really cool. That is, because I don't think a lot of people think music these days. It's like just extra money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it is extra money.
And
but-
hopefully, I'm planning on us trying to reapply next year and hopefully getting the money for the high school and pulling
For
it
the high
in
school?
as well. Yes.
I was in band. It's really worth it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Well, we'll probably have to start out with something small like a drum line and then add to. But a friend of mine that retired from North Jackson, she was the band director there for many years. She said she'd be willing to come in and help me. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Well, that's really cool. Okay, and it's called you went to an arts advocacy conference?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was that like?
Well,
what is it?
It was basically training for the grant, as well as networking with other people who have music programs, arts programs, on how to find extra money for programs, different things they use in the programs. Like there was one that they told us about that was a new program for elementary that a lot of people are going to, and it was something that we hadn't heard of. It was basically an informational type thing, as well as requirements for the grant on dates and things like that on what to find out. So.
Well, that's cool. How much money did you get?
$25,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, and then we're also allowed to reapply for the next 2 years for an extension with $12,500 next year, and then $12,500
For the same grade
next.
level?
Yes.
And then next year you're going to start with a different grant for the upper?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We had submitted one for both, but the elementary got it and the high school did not.
Well, that's really cool, though.
Yes.
So, I mean, in the end, you could end up with quite a bit of money for your band program.
Yes.
Are you guys would you be a 1A school if you got it to the high school?
Yes, ma'am.
1A? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And so let's talk about your classroom.
Okay.
Okay. So science, you say you're okay. I'm just gonna tell you the acronyms because I don't know how you say them. AMSTI.
AMSTI and ASAM, or Science in Motion. The AMSTI I mentioned earlier.
Right, that's what that is.
Science in Motion is basically the same thing, except it's for the high school level.
Okay.
I've been trained in it for years and use it. Matter of fact, my specialist is retiring this year and going to a different job. But they bring you everything for your labs that you need, all of the supplies. It helps. You being a teacher, a lot of money comes out of our own pockets.
Oh,
so
yeah.
therefore, they supply all of, even the laboratory equipment. Science in Motion, if you don't have working microscopes, they will even bring you microscopes.
Now, is this something you guys do like through Jackson County, or because I talked to another school that's done it, or is this like a grant that you had to actually apply for?
It's not a grant. It's just a training program. They're actually AMSTI and Science in Motion. The division that I work with is based out of Alabama A&M. And you go to trainings, you sign up, and
so can anybody?
Any science teacher, yes, ma'am.
What about any state, or is this just an Alabama state?
It's just Alabama.
Okay,
just Alabama.
So any school in
Matter
Alabama?
of fact, I believe our elementary teachers even use AMSTI. K through 8 is AMSTI, and then high school level is ASAM, or Science in Motion.
I think I was talking to one of them, and they do that in the after-school program.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. One of them was talking about they did a cockroach one. Was there a cockroach one? I think
that may be elementary, because most of the after-school programs are elementary, and that's kind of.
Yeah, there was something like that they were doing, and they got all the project stuff for free, and it was.
It's probably the same
part
thing.
of it.
Yes.
And I thought cockroaches. That was another one.
No. That would be a negative.
I would pick
for
up
me.
a snake, and I would pick up a lot of other things, but not cockroaches.
Right.
Especially our science teacher. She has a lot of big, giant hissing cockroaches like that, and you move the egg crates, and they all go.
I did cellular and molecular biology instead of like animal biology, so mine were little bugs you couldn't see. So.
Sometimes those might be the scarier ones, though.
True.
Because you can't see them, right?
True.
I
yes.
like the spiders at my house because I can see them. They're right there.
Yes.
It's the ones I can't see I need to worry about.
Right.
So, all right. Well, we've done a lot today. Do you like? Do you just do high school science and then that's it? And the music you're gonna get. Are you gonna help do the music? Actually, like teach them?
That depends on how how it works out. I'll probably go and do some of the training and help train some of the elementary teachers, but I'm not real sure on that. We're still working on logistics with the way all of that works.
So how's the ACT thing prep? Is it going?
It's went really well.
Do you guys start with what grade level?
It's mostly 11th grade in the ACT prep, but I teach 2 classes during that period. I'm also doing the dual enrollment, so I have 10 through 11 in there, and a few of the 11th graders.
How many kids?
It's a total of 23.
And like, how many of them how many different things are going on in those 23 kids?
Just 2 different classes.
Okay.
Right.
That's a lot. So, all right. Well, we have been cued that we have about 30 seconds. I wish you the best of luck in
All right.
everything.
Thank you. Thank you
It
very
sounds
much.
really
And thank
a
you for
lot of
having me on your
fun.
show.
Yeah, thank you. All right. We'll be back here next week. We just want to say thank you for Woodville High School coming out and being on the show today. Thank you.